Welcome to Screen Stories, where we talk all things movie and TV. If that's what you're into as well, then please consider subscribing. I'm James, and let's get straight into today's video. So before we start, a confession. I am not a comic book guy. I'm a movie guy. So when I talk about Superman, I'm purely referencing the movies. There might be parts of this where you'll say, but that's comics accurate. And I hear you, I really do. I can only talk about what I want from a Superman film and what I think will work based on what's previously been committed to screen. I love Superman, and I want every Superman film to be a big hit with countless sequels. I'm pained that we never got Brandon Routh's second Superman film, where the director who shall not be named promised to go Wrath of Khan, which I assume is a Star Trek sequel with lots of action.
Go, Zulu!
I earned my Superman stripes when my dad used to take me to rent out Superman 4: The Quest for Peace every weekend at Choices Video in my hometown. Until one week, the guy that worked there said to my dad, "You may as well just keep it, mate, because you're the only person that rents it out." I also even named one of my daughters Margot after the greatest Lois Lane Margot Kidder. However, everyone thinks she's named after Margot Robbie, which is endlessly infuriating. Anyway, let's talk about the Man of Tomorrow, because if there's any superhero who I believe deserves a bright, hopeful comeback, it's Superman. We've had the brooding, the gritty, world-destroying battles. Maybe it's time that we remember what makes Superman super. Alright, let's give credit where it's due. Man of Steel had some great ideas. I really wanted to like Man of Steel. It tried to ground Superman in a modern world, one that's cynical, skeptical, and scared of power. Henry Cavill looked the part. I'd like to say I see a lot of myself in him, but that would be libelous to Henry Cavill. The action was epic. The Hans Zimmer soundtrack, great. But here's the thing, Superman isn't Batman. He's not a character that thrives in darkness. He's not supposed to be a symbol of fear or moral ambiguity. He's supposed to be hope.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
But instead of hope, we've got destruction. Metropolis reduced to rubble. A Superman that snaps necks. Although, in the context of the film, he kind of had to. The most bizarre Jonathan Kent death. And an origin story that made him feel alien, distant, and honestly, a little bit sad. People often talk about Richard Donner's Superman and Christopher Reeve's portrayal as the best Superman. And that's because, well, it is really. Sure, the effects are dated, but it was just the right balance of hopeful, inspiring, but also serious and grounded with struggle. Here's what we need to remember. Superman is supposed to be inspirational.
A friend.
He's the one that shows us what humanity could be. He's the farm boy from Kansas that believes in truth, justice, and the best in people. Not because it's easy, but because it's right.
You can't solve society's problems with a gun.
And that's what Christopher Reeve's Superman nailed. That charm, that warmth, the wink and smile goodness that says, "Don't worry, I've got this." And guess what? That version of Superman still hits hard today. Because in a world full of chaos, a symbol of calm strength stands out. And there's nothing wrong with saving cats out of trees.
Here you go, miss.
Gee, thanks, mister.
Although, personally, I'm allergic, so he could have left it up there for me. When did it become uncool to be good? When did optimism become outdated? A brighter Superman doesn't necessarily mean a cheesier one. We're not asking for spandex jokes and cheesy catchphrases. We're asking for a Superman who smiles. We just want a Superman film with a good story, but most of all, a Superman that flies around and saves people. It's kind of simple when you think about it. Superman Returns had glimpses of this, but one thing it got wrong was that the action scenes ended with a whimper rather than a fanfare and excitement. Take this scene for example where Superman is saving the Daily Planet. He flies in, he saves the day, and nothing. Now let's try it again, but let's add in that John Williams score. See, now personally I think that's a million times better. And visually, let's get out of the constant grey filter. Give us the blue skies, the bright suit, the golden light reflecting off his cape as he soars above the world he protects. Look, we've seen the dark, now let's balance it with some light. Here's what the next Superman film should aim for. Start with hope, not origin trauma, start with some inspiration. Focus on humanity. Show how he brings out the best in us. Add in some heart. The Daily Planet, Lois, Ma Pa Kent, those are his anchors. And yeah, have fun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let Superman enjoy being Superman.
Sorry I've been away so long. I won't let you down again.
Now with James Gunn's Superman, from the footage we've seen so far, it looks really promising. I think David Corran's sweat looks great. I personally don't hate the suit. But does my love for a bright coloured Superman suit shadow my feelings for the bagginess and the weird collar? It might do. John Murphy's score seems to be on the right track, an homage to John Williams but with a modern twist. It's always annoyed me that when people talk about John Williams' best ever scores, they mention Indiana Jones, they mention Star Wars, but for some reason they never mention Superman, and for me it's clearly the best. The supporting cast all seem well cast, and we'll see how Krypto goes down. To be honest, at first I thought it looked a bit childish, but then isn't that the point? We all fell in love with Superman, Batman and Star Wars because there were elements that appealed to us as kids. So we really can't moan at nearly 40 years old if they're aiming for the same thing again, right? The perfect Superman scene for me is that helicopter scene from the first Superman film. And it's because of one thing. It's just after the moment that Lois Lane falls down the side of the Daily Planet building. Superman catches her. They exchange some pleasantries.
I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you?
And then the helicopter that was wedged at the side of the building gives way and begins to fall. Superman catches it, and just in that moment, the John Williams score kicks in. I've seen it 1,000 times and I still get goosebumps. That is why I love Superman. At the end of the day, Superman isn't just a hero, he's an ideal. A reminder that no matter how dark the world gets, there's always someone flying above, reminding us to be better. So here's to the next Superman film. May it be bold, bright, and full of hope. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what your dream Superman scene would be. See you in the next one.